Natural gas used to be the good guy of the fossil fuels gang. 40% cleaner than coal, 30% cleaner than oil. Households hooked up to it because it was cheaper than electricity. Now, with prices rising as fast as the planet's temperature, it's come under scrutiny. Australia's state of Victoria has banned gas connections to all new homes from next year, part of their strategy to reduce carbon emissions to zero by 2045.
If we're going to get to the sort of targets for emissions reduction that governments have set out for us, and we need to start now.
Gas lovers are up in arms.
Well, I think I won't be ordering steak in Victoria because, God, you can't have a sealed steak without gas, mate.
In the US, New York has banned new gas fittings from 2026, and the conversation is going as well as can be expected.
I have taped myself to the stove, and I will stay taped to this stove until the idea is completely eliminated from everybody's minds. I'll be here.
So, what about here? The Climate Change Commission recommended banning gas connections to new homes and buildings by 2025. And the government is working on a gas transition plan due out later this year.
So they're looking at how to phase out gas in the longer term. There will be people, of course, who are severely affected because that's their careers, their industries, and so we don't want to suddenly stop it overnight.
Some are worried our country just isn't ready for that kind of move.
Basically, we need to put the infrastructure in place to be able to make good the differential in terms of energy utilisation. So if we're going to move over exclusively to electricity power, that's fine, but actually the power grid here in New Zealand is not that robust.
But advocates say now is the time to ditch fossil fuels wherever we can.
Climate change, as we know, is getting much more serious. We're on a war footing, and one of the first things we can do is to make a simple law to say no new connections to new industries or buildings.
And don't panic, you'll still be able to fire up the barbie.
That was the headline news, but of course we're not talking about that at all. That's LPG, and there's other supplies. I've cooked steaks on a hydrogen barbecue some years ago, and it works fine.
Aotearoa's natural gas reserves are already dwindling. Eventually, we'll have to find another resource.
Gas will be phasing down worldwide, but here as well, over the next decade or two, and that the sooner the better, because it's a case of reducing these greenhouse gas emissions as urgently as possible.
As far as New Zealand is concerned, the sorts of things that we need to be thinking about are going to be actually more micro-generation off-site. So we're thinking about wind turbines, we're thinking about small-scale hydro schemes, anything that can supply local communities.
Some interesting ideas there. That hydrogen barbecue, not sure about that one. I think that's how Oppenheimer got started. But I found an interesting statistic today that, and I am all for urgent and dramatic action on climate change, but do you know what percentage of natural gas is used by us, Kate with her instant hot water shower or me with my barbecue? All New Zealanders, consumers, use up 3.5% of our natural gas.
Where's the rest of it being used up?
Well, 50% is turned into another product and sold offshore. So, yeah, maybe ask us to make a small change to our lifestyle, and we'll do it if the big guys do it as well, and actually makes a bit of a difference, I think.
No, I completely agree. Do you cook with gas? You're a barbecue man, aren't you?
Yeah, I actually cook over the coals now, which I think is even worse for the planet, isn't it, actually? I keep digging that stuff up, please. Yeah. There's something of an artistry with the gas. You know, you can see the flame. It's quite old school.
Elemental.
Yeah, and they can make it flame up. And
yeah, but the old induction hob, well, the new induction hobs, it gets hot so fast that you can burn yourself so easily. And so it makes cooking thrilling to me.